Okay, so point shoes. We love them, we hate them, we wear them for as long as they'll let us, and then they're thrown onto the pile. But what if we could make them last way longer? What if you were able to have a little more control over whether this is going to be a good pair, or a maybe somebody will buy them on Mercari pair, or pairs? Today, I'm going to show you the tips and tricks I use to make my point shoes work for me, and how I revive my dead shoes to give them a second life. So let's do it! Darning these shoes helps protect the tip from becoming rounded over time and gives a flatter, more stable platform to balance on. But with an already dead shoe like I will be using here, the box is already very soft and rounded. Darning instead will help reinforce the box and recreate the flat platform it used to have. But this is also an opportunity to correct any flaws with the shape or angle of the platform, and you can actually use darning to improve your lines and your feet. I'll show you what I mean. I use a straight needle with a large eye and this crochet thread from Michaels, which I double up by knotting the ends together after I thread the needle. Take a second, look at your shoes. Plan how you want to darn them. This is your chance to make the platform put you exactly where you want. I always add a little extra darning on the outside edge of the shoe to make it impossible to sickle when I'm on point. Don't make the tilt too extreme though, or it could cause some injuries over time. You don't want a lot of pressure or winging on your ankle. While you're at it though, you could always add more bulk to the back edge of your shoe to push your foot a little more forward onto your box. Or add bulk to the front of the platform if you feel like you're being pushed too far forward. Point shoes are handmade, and every pair is a little different. Darning gives you some control and can create consistency if you use it correctly. Now that you have your plan, it's time to actually darn the shoes. I use a little piece of TheraBand which helps me get a better grip on the needle when I'm pulling it through. Start anywhere on the back edge of the shoe and pull the needle through upwards. Now hold down the thread so that when you push the needle through again next to your first stitch, it goes through the loop that you created. This is called a blanket stitch. You're going to keep repeating this around the entire shoe until you get back to the start where you can tie off and rethread if needed, and go around a whole second time. While you darn, steer the stitches more onto the tip of the platform if you want to add more bulk, or more to the edge of the platform if you're trying to avoid adding bulk. Stitching on the edge also can create a wider platform. The difference is subtle at first, but once you go around twice, you'll see the little changes add up. My needle broke, but luckily I got around twice already. With new shoes, this is where I would finish. But these are not new shoes, and they're going to need some more love. I darned the other shoe off camera, but when I tried them both on, I noticed an issue that was probably there before, but was exaggerated by the darning. One of the shoes was tilting forward way too much to be comfortable or safe. I needed to add bulk to the front of the shoe to push the shoe upright. But rather than go around the whole shoe again with these changes, I decided to target this area with a different darning technique. Pull your needle through like before and wrap the thread around some fingers to create some loops. This is instant bulk, and you can now just stitch over with a blanket stitch or just a normal looping stitch to secure it to the shoe. Some people do this to begin with because it's a faster method and it works really well for patching up your darning. I personally like the blanket stitch method to start, especially for dead shoes, because you have more control with the shape of the platform. And there we go. The balance is restored. I only used to use jet glue, but now I'm in love with shellac. I'm using the spray-on kind from Lowe's. I'll link it below. All you have to do is give a few sprays into the tip of the box. A little puddle will form, and you can tilt the shoe around to make sure everywhere you want gets coated. I like to make sure the wings get their fair share, especially with a dead pair, because they keep me pulled up and out of the tip of the shoe. If your shank dies first, you might want to spray that as well. Be careful, it might seep through the satin if you spray too much. Luckily, it usually dries pretty light and you can't see it from far away, so it's not really an issue, at least for freeds. This pair revived up amazingly. I'm right where I want to be on my box, and I feel super supported and secure through my wings and the shank. I might shellac them a second time for good measure, but right now they're in that perfectly broken in sweet spot. You might notice that this side seems to be lower cut than this side, but that's because there are a couple more tricks I want to show you before I'm completely done reviving this pair. This is a technique I first saw reference to in this article, which links to this tweet of a video from a TikTok by this person, Minnie Lane, who says, a girl in her pointe class figured this out? I could see that she had somehow Frankenstein decided the shoe to get rid of the excess fabric without having all that ugly stitching on the outside. The seam was completely hidden. I don't have TikTok, so I couldn't see how she actually accomplished this. But after a little digging, I found this video called Amazing Sewing Jeans Hack That Hide the Threat, and I knew that this must be how she did it. So here we go. You're going to follow a shallow curved line while you stitch. The steepness of the curve depends on how much fabric you want to hide, but a couple centimeters at the peak is really all you need. Use a normal thin thread, not doubled, and start towards the heel, right under the drawstring casing where the satin begins. Now, only catching the satin with the needle and not going through the canvas, create a small stitch a bit away from the casing. Then another stitch, beginning in line where your last stitch ended, but next to the casing. Now you'll repeat this to create parallel stitches increasing in distance from the casing until the middle, then decrease the distance. Make sure your stitches only catch the satin, not the canvas. Finally, when you get to the end where the seam of the shoe is, poke your needle all the way through the satin and the canvas, next to the casing. Now here's the fun part. Just pull. There's one more thing to do with this pair before I'm completely ready to wear them. I need to sew on some stretchy ribbon. I already know how long I need it, but I like to check by wrapping it around my ankle like this. Now all I need to do is sew it into one big loop. Stretchy ribbon is amazing. It is so much kinder to my Achilles, and I never have to worry about my ribbons coming out. To put them on, I cross left over right and then right over left and pull the whole thing up to my ankle. And voila! These shoes are completely revived and ready to be used. I actually ended up wearing this exact pair on stage for Serenade a few weeks later because I liked them so much. I had to re-shellac them a few times, but they're still going strong. I really hope this video has helped you dancers out there who need your shoes to last you a bit longer, or maybe even inspired a few of you to dig through your dead shoe pile and try to revive a pair. It can be a frustrating process to try to figure out how to make your pointe shoes actually work for you, not against you. It's just amazing how a centimeter here, a millimeter there, and a spritz of shellac can make all the difference. But when you're asking for something to support you, to move with you, to be an extension of you, every detail matters. Thanks guys for watching this video. I've never made anything like this before, so it was quite a process, but it was also very fun, and I hope to do it again sometime. If you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer in the comments below. And if you're interested in seeing more videos, I guess subscribe. I hope to make some more videos in the future. I'm not sure about what yet, but definitely dance related. So if you're interested, stick around, and I'll see you guys next time.